So when you're looking to find a tenant for your rental property, tenant screening is probably the most important thing that you can do. And I'll tell you, you can't skimp on this step. It's super duper important. If you're looking for great landlord tips and tricks, you've come to the right place, because every week we put out a new video with helpful information for landlords so you can effectively and profitably manage your rental property. So do you have a thorough and detailed and consistent process when you do your background checks for potential tenants? By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 8 steps that you really should incorporate into your process. It's things we do in my office, and it's things that I want to share with you so that you can have a really rock solid process as well. My name is Sue Richey. I'm the broker of Richey Property Management. We're a residential property management company in Northern Virginia. And as I said, we do tenant screening over and over and over. We've screened thousands of tenants, and over the years, we've developed a really great process. So let's get to it. I want to share with you. Step number 1, you want to do a credit check. This is obviously the thing that most people do. They think, hey, I'm going to do a credit check. Maybe that's enough. It's a great first step, but it's not enough. What a credit check is really kind of the financial health of an applicant. It tells you how much debt they have. It tells you, do they pay their bills on time? It kind of gives you a snapshot picture of someone and where they currently stand. But again, it's a good start, but it's not enough. So that takes us to step number 2. You want to do an income verification. On your application, of course, you've asked the applicant to note what their income is, but you don't want to just take their word for it. You want to verify that. So you can call the employer. You can call their HR department. They will confirm for you that what the applicant has put down is actually in fact true. You can also ask for a W-2, recent pay stubs, and if someone is self-employed, you can ask for their most recent tax returns as a way to verify their income. Okay, so step number 3. Now you've done the credit check and you verified their income. Now you want to look at a ratio, which is their debt to income ratio. That will kind of tell you how much of their income is taken up by debts and really how much is left over to pay the rent. So generally speaking, the guidelines that you can follow are about 30% of their gross income can be comprised of the rent and the associated utilities, the cost to live in the property. Then if you take into consideration the other debts that they have that you showed up on their credit report, and you take in the rent, the utility bills, and all the other debt, that really shouldn't exceed much more than 40% of their gross monthly income. So you can use that kind of as a guideline to help you figure out whether they have enough money to pay the rent. Okay, step number 4 is employment verification. Again, they've put down how much money they make. Now you need to verify that they still are employed where they say they're employed, because maybe they just got fired the day before they left their job, or now they're doing something else. You want to be able to call that employer and have them verify with their manager or, again, an HR department, and verify that they do in fact work there. You can do all of that in one step with the income and the employment verification. What's been working for you when you do tenant screening? Do you have any tips to share? If you do, put them in the comments below, and that will help everyone watching this video. Okay, our next step number 5, is verifying their identification. This is also pretty straightforward, but you want to, along with an application, get a copy of the front and back of their driver's license so that you can actually verify that they are who they say they are. That's just a little tip, but it's something very important, so make sure you get a copy of that as well. Okay, step number 6. You want to verify their past tenancy and get a landlord verification. This is really important. You may want to go not only to their immediate past landlord, but see if you can get the landlord before. Because what you want to get from this person is, did they pay on time? Were they respectful of the property? Were they able to get their whole security deposit back? That'll tell you how well they took care of the property. And the landlords will probably share a lot more information. But knowing how they were before is a very good indicator of how they're going to be and behave in your rental property. Step number 7, pet verification. A majority of the population has a pet. So there's a very good chance that somebody will come and apply for your property with a pet. So if you allow pets, there are a few things that you can do to protect not only your physical property, but also protect your liability. First of all, you want to make sure on the application that the applicant notes the breed, the size, the weight, all of the statistics of their pet. The other thing you can do is ask that person to provide a picture of their pet. Many applicants know that, hey, this landlord might not like a dog that's 100 pounds. So they may say, well, my dog's about 50 pounds. And then they come and you've got this huge dog and it's not the dog that you thought you were getting or the thought you approved. So if you get a picture, then you can kind of match that up and you'll have some more verification of the pet. The other thing you want to do on the liability side is to make sure that once you know the breed, make sure that you check with your insurance company that this breed is not excluded from your insurance. There are certain breeds that certain insurance companies do exclude. So if they are one of those breeds, and if there's a problem and they bite someone who comes to visit or anything happens, then you may not be covered, and that leaves a lot of exposure for you. So make sure you do that check with your insurance company as well. Okay, and the last step number 8, is about criminal background check. This is something that we do in our company, and it's something that you definitely want to consider doing. There's a lot of misinformation out there about what you can use in a criminal background check, from what you discover. So there's a certain time period in which you can use it. There's certain information or ways you can use information related to the type of crime that occurred. You need to make sure you understand all of that and how it can be used. Check with your state, even your local jurisdiction. Make sure you use the information the right way. Don't discriminate someone if you don't know what you're doing. But that is another piece of the steps that we take. It's something that you might want to consider adding to your process. So there you have it. Those are 8 steps that you can use as part of your tenant screening. We do all of those things in our company, and obviously in a property management company, tenant screening is a big part of what we do. And over the years, we have refined our process. Our process is consistent. We treat every applicant the same way and fairly, because that's really, really important. So no one is ever feeling like they were discriminated. We just have built a really good process. So we get good tenants, we get people in quickly, and we do a good job for our owners. So if you want to make sure that you can do everything in your power to get the best tenant possible, then you might want to incorporate some of these steps. I have put a checklist, a link to a checklist in the notes below, which will give you a tenant screening checklist. A lot of the same information that I talked about today on this video is in that checklist. So take a look, see if you can incorporate that in your process, and hopefully it will help you as you go forward in finding the best tenant possible for your rental property. So take care. I hope if this information was helpful, you'll subscribe to our channel, and if you hit that bell, you'll get notified every week when we post a new video. And share it with another landlord that you think could benefit from this information as well. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.